Hey DJs, let me ask you something. Are you DJing a wedding and a client has given you a playlist of songs, but you still aren't sure exactly how to go about it? To give you some songs, but you don't know where it all fits. Should I play all of these songs? Do I understand the type of vibe that they're going for? And you're just trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to use the songs that they give me and create the experience that they want on their wedding day? Well, this is something that a member in our community, in our wedding DJ mastery community, he posted up a question asking this. And in this video, we'll be covering that because as DJs, we want to make sure that the client is happy, but at the same time, they are hiring us as the expert to create the musical experience that they're looking for. So in just a few moments, I'll be sharing with you my screen and I'll give you 10 tips to walk away with. So the next time a client gives you a playlist, you know what to do with it and you will crush the wedding. Let's dive in. So in this, I call this the playlist to party, transforming client requests into epic dance floors. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because we've had one of our members, Brian Pickard, in our Wedding DJ Mastery Elevated group, and he posted up this question. So when your client gives you songs for your open dance set, what does that tell you? And how can you take that to create a successful dance set and keep the people on the dance floor? So I'll be sharing with you 10 tips right now. So step number 1, you want to establish clear expectations. You don't want to wing the wedding. It is best to speak with the client ahead of time and figure out their expectations with the songs, with the playlist that they give you. Whether it's a strict playlist where they want you to only play the songs that they give you, or maybe if this is a guided playlist, it's just letting you know about the vibe, what kind of direction that they want to go with. And it's really just letting you know these are songs that we like. And they're hoping to collaborate with you for you to figure out the rest. Now, this conversation happens during the sales call. And this is something that I like to do just to make sure that we align. And this is such an important aspect because I don't want to, and this is how I like to work, I don't want to work with a client who's giving me a strict playlist of songs that I'm only allowed to play for that night. It limits me, it limits my creativity. And you know what? If no one enjoys the music that the client wants, I have little wiggle room to get out of that. It may be a poor reflection of me and my service when I'm only catering to the client and not the whole crowd. So we want to make sure that we have this conversation and making sure that we understand how they want us to play the songs that they give us and kind of give them a direction, whether is it a strict playlist where they only want me or you in this matter to play the songs that they want, or it's a collaboration where they expect you to fill the gaps in with other music that will go well with the vibe. And this is all done during the sales call. So we can prevent any miscommunication early on and address that right away. Okay? So that's step number 1. Step number 2, you want to understand the playlist purpose. So when they give you that playlist, you want to ask for yourself, is this playlist more for the couple? I mean, I know it's their wedding and we want to make them happy. There's some couples out there where they're like, hey, I'm throwing this big wedding and this wedding is all about us. Like, yeah, I know we have grandma, grandpa, but I really want the music to just be for me and my partner and just our close friends. So forget what everyone else thinks. Just keep it us focused. All right, so that's a couple focus, and that's super important. So you can ask even more questions to clarify on that expectation. And you can also find out whether it's guest focus or possibly even both. When they give you that playlist, you can find out the reason behind it and just the intentions behind it and asking them really about who are these songs for? Like, oh yeah, these songs are for us, but our guests love to listen to this type of music as well. All right, great. So that way you know that this is something that you can play and it will cater to their crowd. And you don't have to worry about keeping it focused just on the couple. You know that the songs that they give you gives you an idea of what their guests may want to hear as well. So this is great intel, great information to find out early during the sales call. Now, step number 3, when they give you a playlist, you can assess the different types of songs that are on that playlist. You can categorize them by genres, whether it's pop hits, hip hop, rock, country, dance music, etc. And when you look at these different genres and categories, you'll have an idea of the type of music that they want to hear. So for example, if you see in that playlist, there's a lot of 2010s pop. All right, great. Maybe that's the main vibe that they're going for. And you may see that there's a few hip hop, rock, country, dance, EDM, but there's a lot of 2010s pop. Take that information and that may give you a clue that, you know what, they like different types of music, but this is a type of genre that they would like to focus on, and you can't go wrong with 2010s pop. So find out the split of the different categories, the genres of the music, and also even the time period, the era, the decade of the songs are, or where the songs are from. And during your planning meeting, you can talk about these different genres, and you can even ask about the distribution. You can even ask, do you like one genre more than the other? Oh, what's your favorite time period that you love, like you can't go wrong with, that you love listening and even dance to? Okay, great. So that playlist is a stepping stone and getting to understand of their vibe of music. But you as the DJ, during your planning meetings, you get to dive deeper into their thought process of building that playlist. And that way it can help you and guide you in creating the experience that they're looking for by asking really good questions. Okay, so that's step number 3. Step number 4, one of the things that I like to do is categorize each song by event timeline. So for example, a client may give you different playlists for each part of the wedding, whether it's cocktail hour, dinner, or dancing. Sometimes it's just one master playlist where it's just a mixture of songs. And one of the things that you do is categorize them. You may not use all of them for dancing. Maybe after listening and going through some of the songs on that playlist, you may realize that it's maybe more for cocktail hour or maybe more for dinner. And if it is so, then in your DJ software, I categorize them by crate, by folder, whatever you want to do, or playlist, and you label it or even put it underneath that crate so you know that, hey, these songs will be great for cocktail hour, this will be great for dinner, and then these will be great for dancing, and this could be even great for the peak hour dance set. So up to you. And who knows, and maybe within that playlist, they've included their first dance song. So you want to be mindful of the different moments where these certain songs can be played during the wedding if they're not explicitly have been given to you by the couple. They may not label it properly, but some couples, they just take, these are all the music that we like. DJ, we trust you, do your thing. And I've had that happen as well. So we may have and experience different types of clients. And if in case they give you just a playlist in general, it is your job to pre-figure it out in your mind, in your head, in your DJ software ahead of time where these songs fall in place. And it makes things more organized. That way, when it is time for that particular moment, you already have the music that the client wants and it's still curated for that moment. So you're not wasting any time. You already have a good idea of where to spread that playlist throughout the wedding day. That's step number 4. Step number 5, you want to identify patterns and prepare backups. Now, this is going to be important. You want to recognize the patterns. I know we talked about the genres, but you may also want to think about the tempo, the speed that the songs are in, the ones that they've given you in that playlist, or maybe the mood. Did they give you lots of slow dance, more vibey type of music, more dance music? You can just feel it out. It doesn't have to go exactly by genre or even by the time period, but you can look at other elements and find patterns within that playlist to see, oh, I noticed that they like this or that, and that's something you could identify and take note of. Now, another thing that you could do is create similar backups. And what I mean by this is, besides the music that they give you, what I like to do is create another crate. I like to create another crate or playlist within my DJ software labeled suggestions. So for example, if I am DJing the cocktail hour, I have a folder crate playlist for the cocktail hour that the couple gave me, which are the songs that they want. And then I also have a folder next to it. I label it cocktail hour suggestions. So during my preparation process, I listen to the songs that they want that's for cocktail hour. And then I think of other songs that may fit that vibe. I go through my library and I listen to the songs that will probably be appropriate for that cocktail hour, and I put it in that folder playlist crate, my cocktail hour suggestions playlist. So it's a backup. In case I need more ideas to play during the cocktail hour, I have another crate folder for that, which I labeled cocktail hour suggestions. That's what I do to create similar backups. Plan transitions. And when you plan your playlist or the experience that you're going to create for the client, you can also plan out the transitions that you'll have. When you go through the playlist, you may hear a couple of songs that may mesh well together that you probably want to take note of so you can perform it live at the wedding. And this is where the preparation comes into play. I use Serato DJ, and there's a way where you can have 2 windows or 2 decks on your laptop without connecting to anything, and you can play around to see if one song will go well with the other. So you can plan these transitions ahead of time so you can kind of figure out within the playlist which songs will go well with each other. And then the other thing to consider is include surprises. I did talk about, creating similar backups. You may include certain edits, certain remixes that it takes what they want, but maybe you have a special version of it that really takes the energy to another level. That's something to consider about. The other thing you can include surprises is depending on the planning form, the conversation you've had with them, and any notes that you may have during your planning meetings, you may find certain moments or songs references that you may just want to have ready in case the timing is right. So this all assumes that this is something that's already embedded into your process where you get to know the client more on a deeper level. And when you do, you can have prepared tracks, maybe just in your back pocket in case certain scenarios pop up where these tracks are going to be perfect for that moment while still aligning to their taste and just creates a fun moment for them. That's step number 5. Step number 6, flag must play songs. So when they give you that playlist, and depending on what platform or I guess delivery system you have the ability for them to let you know which songs are a must play. On Spotify, unfortunately, there isn't a way to mark songs as a must play. So what I do use, and this is something I've been using for several years now that has saved me so much time, and I highly recommend it for all the DJs out there. I use this app called Vibo. And on the app Vibo, which is basically an online planning tool for your clients and keep things organized for both you and your clients, and there's so much more, definitely check it out. But one of the features that it has is that not only can it import Spotify and Apple playlists to the app, but the client can also mark songs as a must play. Now, this is important. So imagine the couple gives you 200 songs and you may or may not be able to play all of them. You may want to find out which songs are a priority for them. And on the app called Vibo, which is spelled Vibo, I'll provide it down in the link below. You can have them mark songs as a must play so you know that these songs are going to be played guaranteed. So out of the 200 songs that they've given you, you know which ones for a fact that they want you to play. This could be very helpful in really understanding their expectations, and you can curate your set so that way you hit these marks throughout the night because you know which songs that they want to be played. Step number 7. Read the room continuously. Yes, you are playing their playlist, or at least doing the best of your ability to play the vibe that they want. But as a DJ, they are trusting in you to read the room and to adjust the vibe. So certain songs on their playlist may or may not work, but it's your job to realize that by observing people's reactions, analyze different patterns, and see which songs react well with the guests. And then you want to adapt quickly and pivot in case something's not working, or something that you have another song that will take it to another level. You want to trust your instincts. That's the great thing about DJing is that you are being flexible. You are adjusting the energy, the vibe real time. So use your professional judgment to create the experience that your client's looking for. And that playlist is just a guide, but don't forget, you are a DJ with the ability to read the room and the talent to mix songs smoothly and whatever will be appropriate for the vibe. Step number 8, stay organized for quick access. So this is super important because you need to be able to not only have the songs that they've given you, but be organized enough where you can pull those songs right away. And in a way, we kind of talked about that already by having a structured music library, having organized crates, playlists, and just have a system to help you organize that so you can pick out the songs when you need it. What's been helpful for me is tagging my songs so that way I could easily type it up in a search bar, and then the songs that I want will pop up and I could easily load in the track, listen to it, and see if that's something that I want to play. Prepared crates and playlists, we've already talked about that, but to be even more organized, I also take the songs that they've given me, and then I also, underneath the crate, I label it by different genres. So for example, if it's dancing, I don't just import all the songs into just one dancing playlist. I even take the time to categorize it by pop, hip hop, oldies, EDM. So instead of typing within that crate, I can also just click on that crate and I know what I'm getting. I know this may sound over the top, but it's whatever you do that will make things easier for you when you are performing live. It could be an extra step, but visually it helps me just be organized. So instead of me typing for a specific genre within that folder, I can just click on the folder once and I know it's everything that I need. Hot cues and loops. So this could be very technical, but this can be very important because you may have the songs, but how you're mixing it in is just as important. And it's really important to have these hot cues, these loops, and these shortcuts for you on your software so you know how to time these songs correctly when you mix it in. That way, it's just a smooth progression of the mix, and you're not just playing one song to the next. No, you're actually mixing. Okay, and that's what a DJ does. Step number 9, address genre gaps proactively. So this is going to be super important during the planning process. And you can ask questions like, hey, I noticed you haven't included any hip hop selections. Is that a genre you're trying to avoid, or would you be open to some tasteful selections if the crowd responds well? Like, you're just trying to figure out any gaps within the playlist that they give you and ask questions about it. Maybe there's a particular reason why they didn't include any hip hop. And when you ask these questions, you really get to understand them more and kind of understand the musical boundaries of what you're allowed to play, and really helps you set yourself up for success the day of. And one of the things that I like to do during my planning meetings is, depending on the conversation that we're having, I like to share the music during our meetings. I use Zoom, and it's something where you are able to share your screen and they can listen to some of the tracks that you have some ideas. And this is a great collaboration session if you want to do this, of course, but it's a great way to kind of really help them understand what they're looking for, and just really understanding, making sure that you get the vibe that they want. Create alternatives, which we already talked about, by having suggestions of music that will be great and will be perfect to complement with the playlist and songs that they've given you. Step number 10, this is something important. This is something that we kind of covered throughout this presentation, and it's something that you should do anyways in general. It's to maintain clear communication. If there's one thing that I've learned in really creating a successful wedding experience, is being able to ask good questions. So ask questions, poke holes into the thought process. By asking the right questions, you're setting yourself up to really just protect yourself, so that way there's no questions on the day of. During the planning process leading up to the wedding day, you have so much time to really be thorough and ask your couple of questions so there's no confusion about what's expected on the day of the wedding. Not only are you to ask questions, but it's also your job to listen carefully to what answers and feedback what they're giving you, and you want to document everything. You must have really good notes. And one of the things that I like to do to document and to be able to listen carefully about what they want is that I use an AI software called Otter, which basically records my Zoom call and really transcribes the whole conversation. And I'm able to listen back to it and pull all these information and details for future reference. So that way I can listen to them live, but also I can recall information afterwards. And that's how I know that I have everything that I need to do for their wedding, because everything is documented. And during the call, during the planning process, when you're confirming everything, just summarize them back about what they're looking for. When you summarize and confirm that you understand, or you can confirm the details, they'll appreciate that and they will see that you're seeking clarity and understanding and making sure that you two are on the same page. So summarize back the ideas, the thoughts, the all the musical direction that they want, so that way verbally they know that you get what they want. And this helps relieve any stress level that they may have, and just lets them know that you understand, and both of you will have clear communication. For anyone who's looking for more support and who's looking for more videos that you just want to dive in and learn and grow in your wedding DJ business and actually get booked and also do weddings the right way that will leave your guests and your couples satisfied, then join my Wedding DJ Mastery community. There is a link below. I have a free community if you just want to give it a shot. And then I have my paid community, which you get a free 7-day trial that will unlock everything. I host weekly group mentorship calls in my paid community where I get to answer your questions directly and so much more inside that community. All right, so that's it for now. I hope to see you again next time in another one of these videos. I'm DJ Mojo with Wedding DJ Mastery. Master your craft, master your skills, and master your business. I'll see you next time.